Look, man, I got that swag. Hey, my hat match in my bag. Where we going? We going left to right tonight, baby. This Weezy F, no ceilings. Somebody hit that lighter. Come on. Left to right. Number one podcast in the DMV. Let's go. I got that. I got that. I got that. Got that chromo and Bugatti. I'm dropping on that Bugatti. Hey, we're on this end of dropping on the bro getting this Bugatti. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's a Weezy F winning weekend. No ceilings. Lil Wayne to drop one of his classic mixtapes on all major platforms. And for all you youngers who don't understand why we say Weezy F baby the GOAT, well, you just go listen to that No Ceilings. That swag and that surf joint is definitely by far still the test. It still stay hot in the test of time. It has leveled all freestyles. That is still an elite freestyle from Lil Wayne. Weezy F baby. Lil Wayne got endless F's, and the F stands for whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I said, No Ceilings is still by far one of Lil Wayne's best. Not gonna say the best mixtape, but one of his best. Maybe in his top 5, and it may be between like 3 and 4. But for all my Lil Wayne fans, I know we was all excited this Friday when we seen No Ceilings hitting all major platforms, because everybody, for real, let's be real, it don't matter how YouTube do the jump where you can cut it off and close it. It still just don't flow like it flow if you just playing it on Apple Music or Tidal or Spotify, wherever you getting it from. But like now, I'm glad y'all tuned in to me locked in right now. And this week, for one, before I even get too far, I don't want to apologize for last week. I don't know how I forgot to do a review on Young Dolph new album, Rich Slave. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Young Dolph fan. I'm probably a Young Dolph stan. Like, I'm talking about going back to Blue Magic. Just landed, I'm going in. That to me is when Dolph was really in his prime, and of course I know he wasn't mainstream at the time. I feel like Young Dolph brings the best out of himself when he aligns himself with Key Glock. So just to even get right into that project, I'm gonna say my favorite song on that jump was No Sense, and that was featuring Key Glock. And like I said, I'm definitely a Young Dolph fan, but after a while, like you done listen to so much Dolph music, I do feel like Dolph gotta find a way to separate his songs and separate himself from himself. Like, I feel like Dolph got to reach out and get him like a big Chris Brown type of feature or a Trey Songz type of jump. Something that kind of really, because I know when I'm listening to a Dolph project, I know what I'm going to get from Dolph. It's not nothing that's really making me be like, oh, all right, Dolph taking it to the next level. And this is not I guess to add into the beef or whatever the case may be, but it's a difference between him and Gotti. Like when you listen to Gotti new joint that he got right now that he just put out, what's the joint called? It's called Stay Your Distance. And Yo Gotti get on a motherfucking Take Keith joint, and he do that motherfucker dirty. Like, he give you that young nigga flow. He just give you the young nigga lingo, but it's just still, it's so polished. And I always appreciate when the older artists can kind of go into their bag and really do what the young niggas do, but it just sound polished. It sound like a more mainstream. It sound like a more cleaner version of what all the youngest is already doing. So like I said, if y'all haven't already checked out, I mean, I'm sure a lot of y'all have. And shout outs to Dolph. He did 75,000 the first week, independent. That's beyond major. That's like super major. So, like I said, for everybody who haven't checked out the new Young Dolph, make sure y'all go tap in and go listen to that new Young Dolph. Give it a chance if you ain't already heard it. Like I said, my favorite song to me on there is Stand Out with him and Key Glock. You can't go wrong with a Dolph and Glock. And if you didn't hear what I just was talking about, I was talking about Yo Gotti, Stay Your Distance. Yo Gotti just in his bag on that jump. Like, he literally just killed that Take Key jump. And don't get me wrong, I feel like a lot of niggas find an easy pocket on the Take Key, but this is my first time hearing Gotti on it. Not saying this is his first time on it, but this one of my first times actually hearing him do it by himself, not featured on somebody else or remixing somebody else's jump. Gotti on it by himself, and Yo Gotti did I'm talking about. And this is a little bit off topic. I'm a diehard Jeezy fan and old Gucci, but Jeezy and Gucci to me, and I'm gonna put Gotti in that conversation with them because Gotti kind of came out around the same time like Jeezy and Gucci, and of course his breakthrough records was Bricks with fucking featuring Gucci Mane on Gucci Mane shit, like on them old Gucci Mane projects. That's where Yo Gotti kind of really started to get his major looks from, featuring on songs with Gucci. But to me, as a diehard Jeezy and old Gucci fan, both of them are kind of getting more watered down and kind of not, like, their new shit don't face the test of time. It don't fit in with the young niggas. It's even when they on songs with younger niggas, it still don't hit. Like, Gotti gets better every song he puts out. Like, I feel like this new Yo Gotti, listening compared to, if you go listen to new Yo Gotti compared to Yo Gotti Kitchen Talk or Cocaine Music Volume 1 and 2 and 3, you can't compare that to Gotti right now. Like, Gotti is like one of those type of niggas who actually is getting better with the test of time. So, and I guess that just comes from him just saying like he wasn't a rapper. That's just like Lil Baby. Every time you hear Lil Baby now, you hear Lil Baby getting 20 times better from every track he get on. And I guess just to even touch on that real quick, dude, since I said Lil Baby, he was featured on a remix from, what is it, young name? Hot Boy. And don't get me wrong, the song was cool, but of course I went there for Baby, and then it was just a remix. The video was cool, but Lil Baby do what Lil Baby do, and 9 times out of 10, and that's why he said he won 100 bands for a feature, because realistically, I went there straight for Baby. Because holding down for Florida right now, ain't nobody doing it better than Jackboy. Jackboy is elite, separating himself from the rest of the Floridians. And sometimes, and I know he signed to Kodak, but then I kind of hear when the first song he comes smack in with, the intro of his Joan, what is it, Pray to God, he's saying don't compare me. And I'm the only person I could imagine people comparing him to is Kodak. So I don't know if he don't want niggas to compare him to Kodak, but he holding it down for that sniper game right now. Like, I want to even get into, let me get into the standout tracks on that Joan for me from Jackboy. Y'all can give me like 1 second. Let me just go down the list of, and for people who not hip to the new Jackboy, the new album is called Living in History. A few of my favorite songs on there, Married to My Enemies, that's featuring T Grizzly. That's the first song with him and T Grizzly. T Grizzly get his shit off. And I'm glad that he featured on somebody else's shit, because don't get me wrong, sometimes I think T Grizzly is a hell of a rapper, but I don't know if T Grizzly really know how to make songs. Because even T Grizzly's biggest song wasn't formatted like a song. It was just like the intro, like Meek Mill's type shit. It was like a freestyle type of joint, him just getting off his shit and showing his skill level and showing his different flows. So for this right here, I appreciate T Grizzly was on 2 songs on this one. And the second song he was on this joint was called, what was that one? Notice Me. And T Grizzly went crazy on this one. At first I thought that was Money Man when I first listened to like the very first little like couple of bars and flow that T Grizzly found. He sounded just like Money Man on there. And it was excellent to me though. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I was like, I like this T Grizzly right here. That to me, it was fire. And one of my standout tracks on there, just maybe because I'm a huge Rollo Rodriguez stan, and I'm gonna get into Rollo in a little bit, because I do feel like he is the low-key go-to feature for that chitlin circuit. For the younger niggas that's coming up in like the North Carolinas, the Alabamas, the Louisianas, the Atlanta. Like, I feel like he is the go-to feature man for the Dirty South, because shit, he did a whole project with him and No Cap, and that may have went under the radar, especially for like, I mean, I guess if you're a diehard No Cap fan, you know about it, but I don't see as many people talking about it as I do still see people talk about No Cap. So I don't even know if the diehard No Cap fans are even as familiar with that mixtape or that album, whatever they want to call it. Because I think it was out at one time and then they deleted it. But just to get back on the Jackboy, and like I said, the intro jump, the Pray to God, the jump was fire. I really like the way he was switching up his flows, and he was just giving you different cadences on the whole project. Like, that to me, I guess I even want to have a segment when it was talking about younger street rappers who make like flawless projects. And that comes from like the 3 newer guys who just put something out like in the last week or 2. And that was Young Bleu, that was Jackboy, and that was No Cap. And when I say flawless, and of course I know y'all listening like, well, what about Lil Durk? Lil Durk to me is not in the new, with the newer niggas. I feel like Lil Durk is moving his way up into the like, not the Drake, but the tier like right up under Drake, where the Future and the Meeks and all of them hang. I feel like Durk is right there. So when I'm saying this, I'm talking about this is like the new group of guys who really still haven't, they got a lot of followers, they do a lot of numbers on YouTube, but they still haven't really hit that mainstream. So that's Young Bleu, No Cap, and Jackboy. And you could probably put Rod Wave in there, but I feel like Rod Wave know how to make singles. And I feel like these 3 guys I'm talking about aren't really single-driven artists. Like, you can realistically have to listen to their title, body of work, and really just let it play from beginning to end, and not looking for like songs that add to a playlist or something. You got to kind of enjoy their music as a full project, or watch a video and kind of even get more of a feel of what you're really listening to. So what else I got on the Jackboy, Joe? Oh, he got a joint called P's and Q's. And for y'all youngest who really ain't hip to that D4L, he give you that little, it's like the second flow he used in that P's and Q's song. Just listen to it. And y'all may be saying I'm reaching, but if you really listen to it, he giving you that little, he giving you that little cadence on there. So like I said, that shout outs to Fabo, that's off that Laffy Taffy. And that, to me, when I heard that cadence on that song, I was like, oh, this nigga really know how to make music. And he's studying other shit, because nobody would have took that cadence from that Laffy Taffy and not trying to make a hit. Like, he just put it in as a second, like the second flow on the song. That ain't even the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not even the hook. That's just the second flow he used in the process of the song. So when I heard that, that really made me just appreciate this whole body of work even more, because I was like, damn, this young nigga really know how to make some music. What else was on there? Don't read this. Those was the main songs that really stood out to me. But that, to me, like I said, that was a project that I can listen to from start to finish. I'm not really on there looking for hits. I'm just taking in the music in its totality as a whole. And before I even, let me, in between the young niggas, I'm gonna get to No Cap and I'm gonna get to even Young Bleu. I want to say Nas. I'm not a Nas fan at all. This is my first Nas album I ever listened to, so you may even erase me saying that I feel like this is a classic, timeless type of work, where I feel like you can let this Nas joint play a few years from now. And again, I was telling y'all last week, I seen a couple people was sleeping on Nas, grabbing the young boys and doing stuff with Lil Durk. I don't know why you was sleeping. Maybe you just ain't really hip to Lil Durk, how Lil Durk give it up. That joint with him and Lil Durk was fucking flawless. I wish Durk had a longer verse or even a longer hook. Really just, I wanted to hear more from Durk on that song. But that whole body of work from Nas was perfect to me. From start to finish. For me not being a Nas fan, never even giving a fuck about a Nas song in my life besides the ones you heard, like Uchawali and Hate Me Now and shit like that. To really be able to be like, okay, 25 years later in his career, to actually just be like, okay, let me really listen to it now. I didn't have no skips. Like, the standout songs on me, for me, out of that one was Car 85, 27 Summers, Replace Me featuring Don Toliver and Big Sean. Let me get into Don Toliver real quick. I'm not going to say I was sleeping on him because he's not really mainstream, so you got to kind of like just be in the know with the youngins to know that he really might be the next one up to go for the hooks. Man, Don Toliver smoke. I'm talking about smoke that Replace Me jump. Oh my God, I was like, damn. And that just let me know I'm not gonna give Nas that much credit to be like he was hip to this young nigga. I'm gonna probably get that a little bit more to Hit Boy, but for them to call him in on that play and let him rock that hook out, oh my God. And Big Sean did his thing on that motherfucker. And that was a good follow-up for Big Sean to come right with the Nipsey jump. And that's when I was like, damn, I wish I would have had more fucking had more verses from Nipsey. Because don't get me wrong, Big Sean went OD ham on that jump, but it was just like that third verse to me, it was like a drag. Like, I wish he could have spaced out one of his verses, put a Nipsey joint in between, and he could have just kept his first and his second verse, because that third verse was kind of like a force to me. It was like I could have did without the third verse. Don't get me wrong, that song is fire. You can repeat it a couple of times, but like I said, after you listen to it a few times, that third verse, I wish I could have took the third verse out and put another Nipsey verse right there, and that song would have been fucking perfect for me. And especially not from hearing from Nipsey in a minute. Rest in peace to Nipsey. I really valued and I appreciate that song. And I appreciate how vulnerable Big Sean was on that song. And of course, I'm jumping all over the place because I'm just saying people's names just so I won't forget why I'm talking about that person on another project. I kind of want to plug in Big Sean. And I don't know what that shit is on Apple Music right now that Big Sean got. I think it's like Detroit. Is it Detroit versus Everybody or something? This shit is like a blue and white jump. That shit is trash. He need to just delete that shit off of there, because that almost made me not want to click the jump with him and Nipsey. But because it was Nipsey on there, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to chance it anyway. And it definitely didn't let me down, and I appreciate it. But that Detroit versus Everybody, Big Sean, somebody get tapped into Big Sean and have him delete that shit. But like I said, just to get back onto the Nipsey jump, yeah, that was basically my favorite jumps. And then the jump with him and fucking AZ and fucking Foxy Brown, the Full Circle, the Firm. AZ murdered that jump. And like I said, I'm not old enough to really be tapped in with AZ and knowing how he give it up. But listen, for the first time, really actually listening to him as an adult, that shit was fire. Foxy Brown did that motherfucker on the P level. Like, I understand the hype behind Foxy Brown when you hear a lot of older motherfuckers always want to kind of throw her in there with the Nickies and the Kims and the Eves or whatever the case may be. you can hear it on there to understand where like, okay, she just like did her thing. Cause don't get me wrong, she was on the Nicki project, but it didn't do her justice like this jump with her and Nas. Like she actually was on this motherfucker rapping, and she kind of, not gonna say she had the best verse, but if it's what it was 5 people on that song, she may have the second or third best verse on there. And then what else? Okay, let me tap into Don Toliver now. Don Toliver to me, like I'm listening to him, and he reminds you of like a little Travis, a little maybe like that, like the Brysons, the like the newer, like kind of, it's not chopped and screwed, but it's a little bit of, but it's that. I don't even want to put him in a box and kind of make it seem like I'm slighting what he's doing, because his shit is fire. And my question to y'all is, do y'all feel like Don Toliver may be the next elite hit maker for the young dudes? Like he might end up becoming the go-to hook guy, like a Travis, like a Quavo, like a Sway Lee. I feel like this Nas record is going to help him start to get those mainstream looks, and maybe if not necessarily the mainstream, but other bigger artists may feel more like, okay, let me reach out to Don Toliver and see what I can, you know what I'm saying, what I can steal off of and what I can do. Or even maybe like the new Ty Dolla. Like I feel like Ty Dolla been putting out shit, but he doesn't put out shit consistently enough. So I do feel like there is a lane for Don Toliver to be able to succeed in and be able to really flourish and get his shit off him. And speaking of Ty Dolla, he just dropped a new joint with Nicki. The song was cool, and I just feel like those, like when the songs is just cool, but Nicki give you one of them Nicki verses, I'm sure the Bobs are gonna eat it up, and that's gonna help that song string well, because it is like a repeatable, it's a respectable Nicki verse. It's not one of them, I just punched it in. It's one of them Nicki verses to be like, oh yeah, Nicki's still Nicki. Like she still, when she wanna rap elite rapper shit, Nicki gonna give you some elite rapper shit. Like she didn't play around on that one. So check that one out. It's by Ty Dolla $ign featuring Nicki Minaj. It's called Expensive. Like I said, I'm all over the place, but if I'm just thinking of one artist and I know they got something new and it just remind me of something else, I'm gonna just plug it in where it get in and let you fit in where you know how. What else I got on this list right now? Yeah, going back to No Cap. No Cap, like I said, is another one of those young dudes that I feel like makes better full body projects than just like, he's not a single driven artist. And I understand why his fan base is so fucking dominant and so fucking big, because you can real live just listen to a whole project from him and you end up just kind of just falling in love with his stories and the visuals, his music. He paints vivid pictures in his music where it's kind of like, oh yeah, I just like fuck with Slim. He talking about some shit. And it's just relatable. He not really going crazy Richard Millie and all this and Amiri's and all that other wild big flash shit. He talking some real shit, some shit that y'all like make you sit down and be like, oh, all right, he in his bag. Like the first song on there, the Overtime joint. Smooth little intro, and it's just the chords is real mellow, and then he can just come in and give you this harmony. He talking that shit, and he just really putting you in the mood to set the tone for the whole entire project. And I feel like the project kept that same exact flow through the whole entire joint. What was another song on it? My favorite song on it to me was Gangsta's Cry featuring Lil Boosie. That shit was just fire. Like that motherfucker, that shit was just talking to your soul. Like, and I said again, he set the tone at the very beginning for what he was gonna give you, but he literally just talked to you. Like it was just so relatable. The words, the melodies, and it's just the beats. Like I don't feel like he doesn't pick beats where the beats over speak his voice. His voice fits so well in the pocket. He's one of them young dudes who really know his pocket. He know his cadence. He knows his audience, and you can see that he speaks well to him. And to me, like I said, the standout track on that new No Cap album is Gangsta's Cry featuring Lil Boosie. And I like the one with him and Uzi too. The song, like I had to listen to it a couple times. And the first time it just came out as a single, it didn't really grab me. But in the process of the album, it fits way better. And that's again when I'm saying some of these younger dudes just make way better projects than they do singles. So that when they push that out as a single, it really ain't do it for me. And of course I know why, because Uzi on it, so you want to put Uzi name in it. Uzi is a big streaming artist. But to me, pushing that out didn't do the project any justice of saying here, because the whole body of work, it just flow. And hearing that song inside the body of work made it flow 100 times better. And Lil Uzi went fucking crazy on that jump. Well, I'm gonna go next to King Von. King Von to me, and I said this before, but I know the audience is getting bigger, so I want to fucking say it again. King Von by far is the best fucking storyteller in rap. And King Von don't make like hits where you about to hit in the club and it's gonna go crazy. Don't get me wrong, you could play some of them fucking them story jumps. You probably could play like fucking you could probably play one of them, maybe like 3 or 2 in the club, just because like if you in Chicago or you up in that Midwest area, just because it's King Von, I feel like you could probably play it in the club. But his new joint he got called, what the fuck is it? How It Goes. The visuals, to me, because he tells such a great story, and it sounds like he just talking about his day on beat. Like he just found a beat and just like, all right, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to me one day, sometime a couple years ago. And he just, but when he do it and then you watching the visuals help even paint the stories even better. Like don't get me wrong, like Meek Mill's Tony story and shit is cool. No, I'm not even gonna say it's cool. It's classical shit. That's some classic Meek Mill shit. But the way this young nigga is fucking telling these fucking stories, like he just paint them shit so fucking well. Like I feel like he don't miss. Like he even just his like them shits is almost like mini movies. And when you actually sit down, just if you are not familiar with who King Von is, go on YouTube and just fucking Google King Von's story. Matter of fact, let me tell you exactly which one that I'm talking about, just so I don't even want to just keep yelling shit out and not being on point with what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second. No, what's that? Crazy Story. Crazy Story 2.0 featuring Lil Durk, or Crazy Story 3. Either one of them, to me, will help even easier to battle what I'm telling y'all when I say King Von is the best storyteller in rap right now. I don't give a fuck who you want to line him up against, who you pick and choose. I don't feel like you can find somebody who's telling better stories than King Von right now and then paints the picture even better with his actual visuals. Like I said, locking with King Von, he had a new song called How It Goes. And I feel like that's another visual that lines up with his storytelling skills. Check that out. And for all my fucking Jeezy fans, because I did talk about Jeezy a little bit a few minutes ago, Jeezy dropped all his classic projects, mixtapes, on fucking all major platforms. And some of them you couldn't find. And Trap or Die to me, it fucking, again, one of those things that it fucking holds the test of time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna gas in and say the whole entire project, the whole entire mixtape stands the test of time, but that fucking intro is still like Jeezy's intros is not like loud like Meek Mill's ones where you can play them in the club, but Jeezy intros come in so fucking hard and he talking so crazy with the coke shit. You could just listen to any Jeezy intro or any of Jeezy's albums, at least for Trap or Die, this mixtape, for fucking Thug Motivation 101 and 102. Those 3 projects alone, and I can probably, give me a second and I can look at some other mixtapes, but those 3 alone, if you sold an inch of coke or any type of drug transactions ever in life, you listen to those and you're gonna be like, damn, maybe I can get it one more time. I understand, like, he paint them pictures and make you feel like you just was on the fucking jump with the BMF. Like, that's how, to me, that's how fucking good Jeezy is with his intros. It's just like a movie. Like, he just make you feel like you the best fucking dope boy in a year. Oh, I fucked up the pack one more time. Let me go back one more time. And that's why that meme go around. Jeezy told y'all to Trap or Die and he sent his son to school. I don't give a fuck what he said or what he did with his kid. But when you listen to that shit, he make you really want to fucking trap or die. He make you want to sit here and say, let me call the plug up one more time and see if I can get my fucking wrist in order. Like I said, you can't go fucking wrong with tapping in that Jeezy Trap or Die. To me, that was like, that's my favorite Jeezy mixtape. And he put some other ones out that's cool, but you talking about just elite gangster grills, like it's Trap or Die, and then it's whatever Wayne dedication you want to put in. And don't get me wrong, for some of y'all die-hard, Barzy bar, flow type of niggas, you gonna say one of the Wayne dedications is better than Trap or Die. But I'm 100% positive. Let's ask DJ Drama which one of them motherfuckers ringed off harder. And I'm 100% positive it's fucking Trap or Die by Young Jeezy. And if you're a die-hard Jeezy fan, some of those new Jeezy projects was so listening to Trap or Die just always remind me why I put Jeezy so high in my fucking top 5 fucking rappers of all time list. Who else I got for y'all? Motherfucking Tootsie. And the crazy thing is, I got hip to this nigga after the Tootsie slide came out. Because it was just when I originally was looking for Tootsie slide, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who this shit? And this popped up. And I got hip to this young nigga. He is fire. He just dropped a motherfucking song this weekend with it's called Love Circle featuring Summer Walker. Not a I'm not a huge R&B fan, but I like when the young rap niggas, because this nigga can rap. And if you're not familiar with his rapping ability, go listen to his freestyle on that motherfucking what the fuck song is that? He redid one of them the Baby Jones. I don't feel like looking for it right now, but he murdered that motherfucker off the rip. That's what it was. He did. So don't sleep on this nigga because he can sing and he know how to make a fucking R&B record. This nigga and this Summer Walker jump, it just meshed perfectly. And I just stumbled across it, knew it was gonna come out. I was on Twitter and I seen a bunch of motherfuckers talking about it, and they was just like, they were so fucking geek for the jump. And then even to see Summer Walker is like one of the new elite young R&B singers, and she even indulging with his fan base. So I'm like, she promoting it like it's a big deal. Like, this ain't just a feature she just took some money for and going about her business. So when I listened to it, I was like, okay, it was worth the hype. It was worth, I see why a lot of his fans was geeking for it. And then I seen a lot of his fans like, oh, well, Tory Lanez out the picture now. Let's make room for our boy in it. Hey, I see it. I understand the hype. Like I said, check out that motherfucking Tusi featuring Summer Walker's called Love Circle. Let's get the young Bleu. Now, young Bleu, I said earlier, to me, the newer young niggas who make the best albums was like albums from start to finish was No Cap, Young Bleu, and Jackboy. No singing, nobody fucking with motherfucking Bleu Vandross. And we about to get into his album, Bleu Vandross 3. Slim is different. And I knew he was different with the single that he put out. The first single was called, what the fuck is this joint called? It was called Don't Wanna Lose, featuring Brooklyn Love. And I was watching this shit and it came on YouTube. And I was like, it was just like one of them videos that YouTube be promoting. And I was like, oh, I been was hip to this nigga. But that song per se, I got hip to it on YouTube, one of them videos. Man, this nigga can sing his ass off. And then Shorty on the jump, she just, man, she did that motherfucker like, listen to what I'm telling y'all. Like, I can't fucking, like, I can't sing and I ain't even gonna try to. But I'm gonna try to motherfucking, let me hit a little note for y'all. You hear me? It's like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck with y'all. But Young Bleu, he fire. That Bleu Vandross is fire. My favorite song when it is Dead Famous featuring No Cap. And I like that these young niggas who, these niggas not crazy like YouTube, NBA Youngboy 6ix9ine niggas. These is the down south. They call it the chillin' circuit. This is the heart of the South, like where everybody running around with motherfucking Jerichos and ARs and fucking glizzies with the dicks on them and the drums. These heart of the South niggas. I fuck with how these young niggas is linking up with each other and fucking showing each other love. So, like I said, one of my favorite songs on this Bleu Vandross joint is called Dead Famous, featuring fucking No Cap. And basically on that song is just, he just talking about, I'd rather just be up instead of being in the neighborhood famous and being dead or being broke. Like, I'd really rather have some money. So it's a song that a lot of you young niggas definitely should want to listen to, and not worrying about trying to do it for the gram and get all the likes and all that other bullshit. Really make sure you're doing it for a purpose and really running your bag up. So that's why I fuck with that song. Then he got another joint. It's like song number 2, Come By 12. And the joint, I don't know what shorty name is, but he spell it N-O-B-Y. When I say motherfucking, my man, Young Bleu can sing. This N-O-B-Y nigga, different. This shit is different. This, like, listening to Young Bleu, you almost got to be in a, like, this one of them late night and you just driving. And you might even have some legs with you. So for all you out of towners that don't understand what legs is, that's a little freak thing with you. You could throw on some Young Bleu. Cause Young Bleu gonna put you in that mood. He talking that street shit, but it's so fucking melodic. And it's not melodic like, I need auto-tune melodic. It's melodic like R&B. You could be in the house with a little joint, get you some red wine and fucking hit the candles and let Young Bleu do his thing. Bleu Vandross, you feel me? That's why that motherfucking nigga called this joint Bleu Vandross 3. It's definitely a problem. Then he got a joint they called Good featuring Flo Milli and Yo Gotti. I told y'all a couple weeks ago, Flo Milli, she coming up. She giving you, is she on that motherfucker rapping her ass off, talking that shit. Especially for the youngest, she talking that shit. And Yo Gotti on it. Like I said, Yo Gotti does the young nigga shit on a more polished mainstream level. So you hearing, like, you thinking 2 youngers on there, you think Yo Gotti gonna sound out of place? No way in fucking hell. Yo Gotti fit in perfect like a fucking socket. Another song on there that I really like is called Yeah Right featuring K-Camp. K-Camp may be one of the most slept on niggas out of Atlanta. And I don't know why, because K-Camp has had some of the biggest songs in the last 10 years out of Atlanta. He may have 2, maybe 3 of some of the biggest songs. I may want to argue with niggas and say K-Camp may have at least 3 out of 15 of the big 3 out of the top 15 songs that come from out of Atlanta in the last 10 years. Money Baby, Cut That Bitch Off, and now what's the Renegade? You could debate me. It may be debatable. I said 15. I ain't saying it's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, but he may be somewhere, and he has at least 2, if not 3 of them. If you don't want to put all 3, 2 of them for sure are in the top 15 songs that come out of Atlanta. So don't, like I said, don't sleep on K-Camp. And this is a song called, what the fuck, I'm a little bit blind, so forgive me, y'all. It's called Yeah Right featuring K-Camp. That's, like I said, it's on the new Young Blue Vandross 3. And then again, he got a song on there with my favorite nigga from the South, motherfucking Rollo Rodriguez. What's that joint called? Every Time I Blink. And for everybody, if you're a Lil Baby fan, and you a real Lil Baby fan, you hip to who Rollo Rodriguez is. And I know everybody loving 42 Doug right now, and 42 Doug seem like he is the go-to, the next nigga up from fucking 4PF. But Rollo, to me, is that nigga. Anytime you hear Rollo on whoever shit, he murdered he know how to switch his voice up, and it's so fucking distinguished. Like, you know, he don't get locked in with the other young niggas who singing and you don't know who Rollo is. You know who he is, and he sound like Rollo every time he on a fucking track. He stand out, his voice is so fucking distinguished, and he don't even sound like, he don't sound like nobody else. You can't say Rollo Rodriguez sounds like nobody else. To me, he is the most slept on young nigga from the South. But I'm not gonna say he slept on because he on everybody project. So it's not no sleeping on him. I just don't think he don't have that big mainstream song yet, or he hasn't got that big mainstream look. But if you really tapped into what's going on in the South right now with all the young Southern niggas, you'll hear Rollo Rodriguez on everybody's shit. He was on Moneybagg Yo shit. He on Lil Baby shit. He on, I done just told you he was on what the fuck. Him and No Cap got a whole project together. He was on Jackboy jump. He on fucking Young Blue shit. Don't sleep on Rollo. For any of y'all who not hip, get hip to motherfucking Rollo Rodriguez right now. Stop this fucking video and go get hip to fucking Rollo right now. Who else I got for y'all today? What else we talking about on here? A$AP Ferg put out a song. It was called No Sellers, and it was featuring Lil Wayne and a young nigga from out of New York called Jay Guapo. I like the song. I like it. But I would have loved the song if A$AP Ferg would have let the young boy do the fucking hook. It would have made the song just stand out. It would have been way more cool. It would have been way more swaggy. Like, that's one of the times A$AP Ferg should have passed the fucking rock. Should have let the young boy do the hook. He could have did 2 verses and just let Youngin do the hook. I feel like that song would have been 100 times better. But this is A$AP Ferg tapping into using that Brooklyn drill sound. What's the producer name that Pop Smoke made famous, and all the other young niggas was Axel. It give you, and he do and A$AP Ferg do the drill flow on there. Lil Wayne still do Lil Wayne, and then Slim just so swaggy. He giving you that what's that? Not fucking A$AP, but like he giving you that. To me, he giving you that little TJ, that fucking A Boogie feel, like that smooth motherfucking New York shit that's going on in New York right now. Like I said, the song is called No Sellers, and it's featuring Lil Wayne and Jay Guapo. I fuck with the Jay Guapo nigga. Like, that right there, that feature will make me want to go check him out. And that's always a good thing for a young nigga when he can get on a mainstream, like that's going to be a mainstream song. That's A$AP Ferg, that's Lil Wayne. And he get on that motherfucker, he just stand out like a fucking sore thumb. And the shit crank, like his voice just sounds smooth. He sound cool on the jump. And it's going to make me go check out the rest of his music to see what he got shaking. What else? Before I let y'all roll, I'm gonna tell y'all a nigga on the West Coast that slept on heavy is fucking Filthy Rich. This nigga been cranking for years, and I don't know where this nigga get his bag from, because if you go Google the nigga, go watch his YouTube videos, this nigga got rooms of red bottoms. He always got all the new fucking forms and all that. And I think that's that look, his look alone has kept him relevant for years and probably kept him in the right room because he just looked like fucking money. But his new fucking project, I fuck with the joint. And what made me go back and listen to it, like I skimmed through it before, but what made me go listen to it like again, he just put out a video with him and Jackboy in the joint called No Love. And after I watched that video and really just caught, I was like, damn, let me check out. He got a bunch of features on there with a bunch of the young niggas on there. Matter of fact, what's the name of this project? It's called Real Hate by Filthy Rich. The whole project is called Real Hate. And like I said, Filthy Rich, if you're familiar with Jim Jones, he got songs with Jim Jones. He got songs with Ross. He got songs with a lot of the big name niggas. Filthy Rich been doing this thing. And for all y'all YouTube fanatics, you done seen Filthy Rich on Vlad millions of times. So like I said, go check Filthy Rich out. And before I let y'all roll, I definitely want to tell y'all to go check out fucking Mulatto whole project. But the standout song to me on that new Mulatto joint is called Pull Up featuring 21 Savage. And Mulatto normally talk all that pussy selling shit and this, that, and the third. But when she get on this motherfucker and get to talking about some gun shit, I was just like, oh, all right, shorty, I like you. You popping that shit. You talking that tough shit. And it was cool that she put the right feature on that motherfucker. You put 21 Savage on there. I ain't too many niggas talk that gun shit better than fucking 21 Savage. Like I said, fuck with that new Mulatto. Her whole album, Queen of the South. But my favorite song on there is Pull Up featuring 21 Savage. And then I'm not sure how many of you youngins may be hip to fucking what's his name? DNG. And he got a song called Moonwalking in Calabasas featuring Blueface. And don't get me wrong, I ain't a huge Blueface fan. Like, he got some songs that like hit or miss for me. And he really ain't had shit since Tatiana, but you can catch him on a couple jumps. And this is one of them songs you can catch him on. And Blueface was just like really in his thing doing him. As a matter of fact, I got one more jump for y'all from Blueface. And this may be, it's called Murder Rate featuring Polo G. That shit hard. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit is hard. It's called Murder Rate. It's Blueface featuring Polo G. That shit is hard. So don't sleep on Blueface. He probably never gonna have a song as big as Tatiana, but if he can catch a couple of like these two jumps right here that I heard from him recently, he may be able to hang around for a little bit because he a character, so he got personality, so you're going to always kind of be tapped into what he got going on. But really just give that shit some go. And like I said, it's another week, just my little wrap up of what I've been listening to, what I was tuned in, what I was locking in with, and whatever y'all think about it, man. Subscribe, rate, tell a friend, share it, let some cool shit